Are you struggling to pick a CRM for your business? Hi, my name is Adrian. I am the founder of Groundhogg, a CRM plugin for WordPress. And I have been in the CRM industry long enough to know that most businesses struggle when it comes to choosing the perfect CRM for their organization. There are so many options, it's incredibly overwhelming. There's so many features and there's so many promises made by salespeople. It's tough to know what's true and what's fiction and what the best decision that you can make is. And so what I've done is I've taken all of my years of experience, over 15 years of experience in the CRM industry, and compiled it into the definitive CRM buyer's guide. What it does is it arms you with questions, green flags and red flags, things to watch out for, things to know, so that you can make the most educated decision possible when it comes to picking the best CRM for your business. And so I have a link to this in the description to download the guide, and then you and I, we're going to spend the next half an hour or so and walk through it together. Stick around. If you're currently in the market for a CRM for your business or your nonprofit, your organization, or your next project, maybe you're an agency working with a client, but specifically if they're using WordPress, then you might be at this point overwhelmed with the number of options that you have to choose from. You have a multitude of WordPress options. You have hundreds, if not thousands at this point, of software as a service options, and you are trying to figure out which is the best choice for your business. So we wrote this document, number one, because we want you to pick our software, our CRM, obviously. And so I'm going to try and, sell that to you if you're okay with that. But in the event that you discover that Groundhogg is not the right fit for you, these are still great questions to ask of the providers that are available to you to figure out if you are making the best decision. So without further ado, I'm just going to kind of just walk us through this document, and I'm going to share some of my thoughts, and I'm going to ask some questions, and you and I together over the course of the next however many minutes are going to discover if this is, if Groundhogg is the right fit for you, and if not, which CRM is the best fit. So, if you do not know me personally, my name is Adrian. I am the founder and lead developer of Groundhogg. I have been doing this for many, many years at this point. I've been doing Groundhogg 7+ years. In marketing automation and CRM in general, 15. And so I've been around the industry a long time. I know a lot about CRM and about which decisions businesses should make and when. I know which CRMs cause more problems than others. And I've been helping businesses pick CRM and implement it in their business for almost 15 years at this point. And so there's kind of two groups of people that are currently in this journey. You might be choosing a CRM for the first time. If that's you, then this guide will help you make an informed analysis and bring you up to speed on the questions that you should be asking about CRM. And if this is this is their fourth CRM and you're constantly switching and you've had other experiences with CRMs before, you well know that CRM is hard, right? A lot of them are anyway. We try to make it easy, of course, but picking a CRM and switching to a CRM is always hard because you got to talk to salespeople. You got to do the setup fee. You got to, switch all your stuff over. You got to migrate everything. And so you're looking for a CRM that's going to give you a nice welcome home. It's not going to make you jump through all of these hoops to get started, right? You kind of just want something easy. You want something done. You just want to get married and sell down, right? Like you want to stop the dating, the CRM dating, and hopefully we can help you do that. So like I said, full disclosure, the name's on the shirt. I'm gonna try and get you to pick ours because I think it's really good. We've been helping thousands of businesses in 60 countries around the world for over 7 years. I think that speaks of a reputation that's worthy to try and make it to you to choose us. But if not, in the next 10 minutes, we're going to discover what's important while choosing a CRM. what features that you should look for, what resources you're going to need, which red flags, CRM red flags you might want to avoid, and how to get started when you've actually chosen your new CRM. So I want to start off with how CRM makes you feel, right? So features and everything is all well and good, but the number one rule in marketing is don't sell the product, sell the feeling that the product gives you. So let's talk about feeling for a moment. Your CRM should not make you feel like you should rip your own hair out. I used to come from the Infusionsoft community way back when, and this might date this video in the future, but as of recording this, Infusionsoft has actually entered into a deal to sell out to Thrive, and so like that's a whole thing. So RIP. But when I was doing that 14 years ago, that was like hair ripping out. It just never worked the way that I wanted it to. It was complicated. I actually made a product called FormLift just to get forms to work on WordPress. It was a whole thing. And it made me want to scream expletives all the time, especially when every time that you go from 1,000 contacts to 2,000 contacts to 3,000 contacts, they just seem to keep increasing the bill. Has that happened to you where you're like, you're paying for a CRM, you import your contacts, and all of a sudden your price goes from $40 a month to $400 a month, and you're like, what extra am I paying for? The big secret is that it doesn't actually cost HubSpot, ActiveCampaign, MailChimp, or whoever more money for you to have more contacts in it. It is purely a success tax. We're going to talk about that later. And then, when you go to support and you ask for help and you're expecting to talk to someone and them to give you some valuable insight and help you solve a problem, they just blame you and you just want to punch your fist right through the monitor on your desk, and you're like, God, I wish that someone would just help me. And every time, and you avoid critical tasks, you avoid jumping into the CRM, you avoid using it, you avoid sending email, you avoid marketing, you avoid going into a sales pipeline because it's slow and it just takes time, and you'd rather just send emails or pick up the phone or scroll through your contacts or scroll through Instagram or something, because anything is better than like logging into your CRM. If you dread logging in, you're feeling like smashing your computer, screaming expletives, or ripping your hair out, then you're in the right place. This is the guide for you, because CRM should make you feel relaxed. Like you should know that your CRM software is working for you. It's managing your contacts. It's keeping your data safe and secure, and that your emails and your funnels and your pipeline is running without interruption, right? You should feel comfortable and safe in the knowledge that on the weekend when you're enjoying time with your family, that your CRM is working for you. You want to feel street smart because you want to know that you're also getting a great deal on CRM. You don't want to be paying for tools and features that you're not using. You don't want to feel like you're being taken for a ride because some sales guy promises you the moon, and then 6 months into a contract, you're like, well, is there any ROI on this? And you don't want to feel like you just got taken for a ride, right? You want to feel street smart. You want to pick a CRM that makes you feel like you made a good financial decision on behalf of your business. You want to feel secure, that your data is safe and sound. You want to feel joyful that when you go in, accomplishing the most basic tasks are easy and straightforward. And, if you ever, if you've ever seen a Staples commercial, like they got like the "that was easy" button. You just want to press the "that was easy" button, and when you go in, and boom, that was easy, right? These are the feelings that Groundhogg conveys for me when I log in, because I am probably the number one user of my own product, right? we're big on using Groundhogg for everything in our tool. We don't subscribe to any other CRM platforms except to test them for our comparison pages. But if I go into my product and something doesn't evoke joy while using it, guess what we do? We change it like immediately, because I'm also a developer. I have the power to do that, so I just go in and I change it because I want it to evoke joy. And whenever I hear from our customers going into our product doesn't evoke joy, or doesn't make them feel street smart or secure or relax, we do our best to be, all right, well, how can we fix that? We collect feedback and we work on it and we iterate. We've been doing this for over 7 years now. And so I feel like we've gotten pretty good at that. So before we move on, you're going to be talking to us. Maybe you're going to have a conversation with me in the future. Maybe you book a call. Maybe we've already spoken. But chances are that you're also going to speak to other sales representatives from HubSpot, ActiveCampaign, Pipedrive, whoever. Like you're gonna speak to some people. And so when you're speaking to these people, these are the red flags that you should be looking out for. Number one, and HubSpot is especially guilty of this, is a required initial setup fee. So HubSpot brings you in with that really, really attractive free CRM offer that works up to maybe 500 or 1,000 contacts or whatever it is. I'm not sure off the top of my head. But when you upgrade to actual paid and you want to bring in the marketing automation features, not only does your bill skyrocket to $1,400 a month immediately, but you also have to pay their $2,000 setup fee for what? Who knows what that does? I don't know. But if a required setup fee is something that they're making do, and Salesforce and whoever else is guilty of this as well, there are hundreds of other CRMs that not only don't charge a setup fee, but they'll actually do the setup for you, us included. We'll go in, we'll migrate your contacts over, we'll install Groundhogg on your website, we'll set up any back-end cron job stuff or connect your SMTP service, and we'll do literally all of the grunt admin work for you so that when you're logged in, you can write an email and send it to your people within minutes, seconds even. And so if a required setup fee is something that's the sales, just walk away. There's better alternatives, Groundhogg and otherwise. The next red flag is if you are being pushed towards third-party integrations. There are, again, so many CRMs that offer first-party integrations at this point. Groundhogg offers first-party integrations for WooCommerce, LearnDash, Lifter LMS, easy to download, SendGrid, Postmark, Elastic Email, Shopify. There's so many first-party integrations that don't require you to go to Zapier or some obscure no-name third-party something or other. Just in every single third-party integration that HubSpot or whoever makes you buy is just more, that CRM bill just keeps going up, right? Every single month it just keeps going up. You want to limit that if possible, right? The purpose of having CRM is that it makes you money, it saves you money, right? If your CRM is your biggest expense in your business, something has gone wrong. And the next red flag is a favorite one. Someone who's particularly egregious of this, in my opinion, is Zoho. When we were doing our Zoho comparison page, it was absolutely impossible to put together a comprehensive quote of what it would actually cost per month, because Zoho has an app-based system where you got your marketing automation app and your CRM app and your SMS app and your scheduling app and your pipeline app. And all of those apps have different pricing pages. And so when you're going through the checkout process, they're like, oh, bring this in and bring this in. And all of a sudden you have 14 different subscriptions for all of these different Zohos. And you have to manage them all separately. There's not just one place. If you want to switch from Zoho, you can't just cancel Zoho. You have to cancel them all individually. And that's crazy. That's so complicated, but it's on purpose because it makes it difficult to leave. And that is one of the hallmarks of software as a service CRM, is they make it difficult to leave. Because that's how they make money. If the cost of leaving is greater than the cost of staying, then you're going to stay, right? And maybe that's a good business model, but it's not necessarily a customer friendly model. And so if the CRM you're talking to is giving you all of these hoops and complicated pricing and nothing is clear and it's confusing, then just again, walk away. There are other options that offer clear, concise pricing. A lot of those have success tax on them, meaning more money for more contacts, even though in reality it doesn't really cost them any more to serve 50,000 contacts than it does 50 contacts. The simplest pricing, I'm going to underline my logo on my shirt here, is flat rate pricing, regardless of contacts, one fee annually. We'll talk about that later. If there's no self-serve demo, again, that's a red flag in my opinion, because that means that they're not actually confident in the product. If they think that giving you a self-serve demo is going to scare you away from the product rather than pull you towards it, right? That's a red flag. Having no self-demo means that they're scared of you trying their product, right? We have a self-serve demo. You can go in, there's a link at the bottom of this page here, so if you're looking at this document with me, you can click that. You pay $1. We set up a sandbox for you, and it has contacts in there. It's got email templates in there. It's got funnel templates in there. Like it's ready for you to just go and pick up and start testing things and breaking things. And we're confident that it's going to pull you towards our product. And so if you can't try the product before getting on a call with a salesperson, before making some sort of major financial commitment, before whatever, again, there's other options. Walk away. And another red flag is if the salesperson is talking to you and you're asking, all right, what's our spin up time? And they're like, oh, well, typically everything is ready to go in 6 months. So there's a lot of factors that go into implementation time, but if they're saying that the CRM is only going to be ready for you in 6 months, that's just ridiculous. There's absolutely zero reason. When you sign up for Groundhogg, we set it up for you. So we do the installation, we do the grunt work, the administrative stuff, so that when you log in, within maybe a couple hours of signing up, you're already ready to send a broadcast to your list. Your contacts are in there, your tags are in there. You write an email and ship it. It's that easy. And it shouldn't be more difficult than that. You as the business owner, or the organization person, or the marketer, or the agency, or whoever, right? You have, a level of responsibility to, set up the automations and funnels and emails and filters and segments and whatever, right? And that could take months if you decide to do that slowly. But the CRM, like us, the partner that you are choosing to work with, should not inhibit your ability to move fast should you desire to do so. Okay. Now, so those are our red flags. Those are the feelings. It is called the CRM Buyer's Guide. So there are questions, right, that you should be asking of every single CRM that you're considering for your business. And these are them. So number one, is the CRM actually a CRM? We're going to talk about what that means. Does the CRM include marketing automation? Because, the data is really only as good as your ability to leverage it. Number three, does the CRM have native integration with your existing software? So WordPress and whatever plugins you're using. I'm assuming at this point, if you stuck around this long, you're using WordPress. And so obviously you'd want the CRM that you're using to be compatible with WordPress. 4, is it easy to transfer data in and out of your CRM? Very, very, very crucial. Number 5, will the CRM support your long-term goals? And number 6, does the CRM offer meaningful support and resources? So let's review question number 1. Is it actually a CRM? There's hundreds of products that call themselves CRMs, but are really just glorified email marketing tools. MailChimp. And they really function quite terribly as CRMs. And so what are the actual key features of a CRM that you as a business owner or an implementer or an agency should actually expect that are necessary for you to deliver or to collect the data that you need to deliver exceptional customer experiences? So number 1 is obviously contact management. Now, most CRMs will offer some form of contact management. But where it gets trickier and where stuff starts to fall apart for most CRMs is staff assignment and roles. Can you bring your network, your staff, sales representatives, sales managers, administrative people, HR, can you bring them in and assign them specific capabilities to only access specific parts of the CRM? Most CRMs fall apart at this step because they don't have comprehensive staff management, which Groundhogg does. Lots of other CRMs do too, but most don't. Segmentation. Most CRMs have segmentation, but only in the form of maybe tags or lists. And true segmentation really is the ability to create and divide contacts by a multitude of data points. Tags, custom fields, email history, pipeline history, purchase products, WooCommerce data, right? There's all of these different data points that we have, and Groundhogg can collect them all and allow you to create segments on all of that different data. While most CRMs drop the ball around maybe tags and custom fields, and that's just not enough, right? So you want to make sure that your ability to segment extends not only just beyond tags and custom fields, but all the data that you have access to, their purchase history, their site visit history. All of these things give you an opportunity to create exceptional customer and marketing experiences. It's got to have custom fields. I don't think it has to. If it doesn't have custom fields, then how are you going to keep track of important information that you collect on that contact form, like the reason that they contacted you, right? We have like this funnel template. It's like, hey, what's your reason for reaching out to us today? And we want to store that reason somewhere so that when we follow up with that person, we know why they reached out and we can have an intelligent conversation with them. That just seems straightforward. Activity and history. Again, a lot of CRMs drop the ball here. Email history, like opens and clicks, is not enough. We want to know what pages they visited, what products they purchased, when a note was applied, if we sent a composed email to them. We want to know if they donated to whoever. Like these are activity points that we need to know in order to create a comprehensive profile of this person so we can send them the right email or the right message or the right phone call at the right time. And you got to have notes and tasks, right? Again, this is going back to those staff permissions that we were talking about. When you have your staff logging in and they're talking to people or they're making stuff happen, they need a place to store those interactions, right? And they do that through notes and tasks. And you can assign phone calls to secretaries or to whoever to make sure that the important administrative work is being done in tandem with the automated marketing. And it's got to have comprehensive analytics. You want to know, where are customers coming from, right? What are their lead sources? How are they ending up in our system? We want to know what languages they're speaking. We want to know what countries they're living in. We want to know where they're from, right? There's all of these key data points that give you a better understanding of your list. And without those, it's really hard to make really educated decisions about your pipeline. 2, does the CRM include marketing automation? Okay, so on the flip side, so we were talking about, is it actually a CRM? And most CRMs are actually just glorified email marketing tools or marketing automation tools. And on the flip side, a lot of CRMs are just CRMs, and they lack that all-important marketing automation component. And so they do all of this really, really, really well, but then they don't do this really well. And truthfully, a CRM and the data that you have in CRM is only as good as your ability to leverage it for marketing purposes and customer experience fulfillment. And you have to have marketing automation to do that. So otherwise, you're just collecting data for the sake of having it. And that's just worthless. So you found a CRM, it checks all the boxes, but it doesn't have, email templates that are easy to write and work with and allow you to merge in custom fields and allow for dynamic content and allow for all of these wonderful things that allow you to communicate with your customers in an exceptional way. It doesn't have triggers and funnels and actions that allow you to do things when people do things. So you can't send an email when a customer visits 3 different pages on your website and marks them as a hot lead. You can't follow up with customers that purchased a product 30 days ago. You can't send cart abandonment emails, right? So if you can't do that, then what's the point of collecting the data in the first place? It's got to have integrations with your other products: WooCommerce, LearnDash, Lifter LMS, BuddyBoss, easy to downloads, WP Forms, like whatever you're using. It's got to be able to connect with those and bring all of that data in and then allow you to do things when things happen in those products, allow you to send follow-up emails when someone finished a course, allow you to create these exceptional customer experiences as people interact with the tools on your website. It's got to have analytics for those marketing assets. You got to know how many people are going into your funnels. How are people interacting with each of the emails in your funnels? What's the conversion rate of those funnels? If X people go into the top, how many Y people come out at the bottom? Like, we want to know those numbers. It's got to have it. It's got to have transferability. One of my biggest gripes, with the software as a service CRM market is just the lack of data transferability, especially when it comes to your marketing assets. It's almost impossible to export emails or export automations or whatever. And there's a very good reason for that, because if they made it possible to export, all of the other CRM companies would offer import tools, right? And then they make it easy to switch from HubSpot to Salesforce, or Salesforce to Infusionsoft, or Infusionsoft to ActiveCampaign. If they did that, then that's what would happen next. And so, all right, fine, we'll forgive them. But that doesn't make it easy for you to quickly replicate your successful emails and automations. And so in Groundhogg, everything is exportable and importable. Absolutely everything. Emails, funnels, contacts, notes, everything. You can just pick it up and drop it off somewhere. Okay? I think that's really important. So not only should the CRM that you have be exceptional in offering CRM actual related features like contact management, staff assignment, segmentation, custom fields, activity and history, notes and text, and comprehensive analytics, but it should also have that marketing automation component in a fairly comprehensive way, because without it, data is just data, and it's only really as valuable as your ability to leverage it. Okay. Does it have a native integration with WordPress? That's question number 3. Groundhogg does. And so if you need one, then just choose that. Basically, the rest of the software as a service platforms offer either a super niche plugin that doesn't do a whole lot, maybe it allows you to add forms to your website, and maybe it does a little bit with WooCommerce, and that's basically like most of them, or WP Fusion or Zapier. Those are your options. So you can pay for a SaaS CRM and pay for WP Fusion and pay for Zapier and pay for whatever, or you could just choose a WordPress CRM like Groundhogg that offers first-party integrations with all of your WordPress plugins and is deeply integrated with WordPress to start off with. Number 5, is it easy to transfer data in and out of your CRM? I briefly mentioned this, but most of the SaaS CRMs make it incredibly difficult to transfer data in and out of the CRM. And there's a good reason for doing that. It's good business for them. It makes you stick around longer. If the cost of leaving is greater than the cost of staying, you're going to what? Or you're going to what? You're going to stay. And so I personally don't necessarily believe in that, because I think as an open source flat rate cost CRM provider, our goal should be to put as much power in the hands of the customer to make their lives easier. And so everything in Groundhogg can be exported: funnels, emails, contacts, tasks, notes, history. You can just download the whole database in Groundhogg and move it somewhere else should you desire to do that. Everything can be exported to JSON. There's a full-blown REST API that allows you to pull everything out and allow you to create or complete a migration from point A to point B. It allows you to make backups. How many times if this is not your first CRM, if you've been with CRM for a long time, how many times have you deleted something that you didn't actually mean to delete? It's happened to me, and it's very painful when that happens. It's very painful. But because Groundhogg is just installed on WordPress, it's self-hosted, you own it, guess what you can do? You can create backups. How fucking cool is that? Right? Like, you just back up the whole thing. Easy peasy. And that allows you to take, to do things that you wouldn't otherwise normally do. It allows you to test things. It allows you to I wouldn't necessarily say take risks, but it allows you to test things that you might not otherwise want to test for fear of breaking things, right? You don't need to be afraid of breaking anything because you can just take backup first and then restore it if something goes wrong. Will the CRM support your long-term business goals? I've spoken to hundreds of businesses. Hundreds? No, thousands. I've spoken to thousands of businesses in my 14 years of marketing and CRM experience. And so many times does a business sign up for a CRM. It's simple, it's easy, it's straightforward, and then 6 months later, they're like, okay, well, we need to start creating tasks and assigning those to that person that we just hired. Oh, and they can't do that. And now they have to switch, right? Now they got to go through the whole procurement and process, and they have to cancel, and they have to pay the cancellation fee, and they got to talk to a person before they can cancel, and then they got to talk to sales agents about a new CRM, and they got to migrate all their stuff. But oh wait, migrating is hard because CRMs make it difficult to migrate, right? So, and then they have to go through the whole procurement process again. It's a pain in the ass. It's a pain, right? And so what you want to do is you want to pick a CRM now that's going to be flexible enough for you to start in, and it's easy and it's straightforward, but it has the flexibility to become the sophisticated piece of software engineering that you're going to need to allow you to add staff, start doing tasks, start doing advanced reporting and advanced segmentation and doing the things that, only like enterprise level businesses at enterprise level software can do. Because that's going to happen for you eventually, hopefully. Ideally, we want that to happen for you. I want that to happen for you. I want all of our customers to be successful. Pick a CRM that can scale and grow with you, but starts out at the place where you need it. I think that's super important. Groundhogg has hundreds of features, right? But you don't need them all to use them all, or even need to know what they are right at the start. That would be way too overwhelming. And so we package Groundhogg in such a way where you can just start adding stuff as time goes on. It's like, oh, I need scheduling. Oh, guess what? We have an add-on for that. Which you don't have to pay. It's actually included. When you sign up for the pro plan, like everything's included. So you don't even have to pay more for that. You can just install it and boom, you're off to the races. Oh, I need advanced custom reports. Great, we have an add-on for that. Oh, I need to do round robin owner assignments. Guess what? We have an add-on for that. Right? So and all of these are included. We don't charge you extra. When you're on the pro plan, maybe if you sign up for the basic plan or like the plus plan, you might need to upgrade your plan. But after that, we don't our goal is not to nickel and dime, right? It's just flat rate for everything. And so if you pick like a tool like HubSpot or Salesforce, God forbid, right? You go in and it's just a bombardment of features, like instantly. Right? And it's overwhelming. You're like, oh, what am I supposed to do with all this? Right? And you don't know where to start. You don't know what to do. But if you go for like a kit, or like formally convert kit, right? It's like, great. Okay, you go in. It's simple. It's straightforward. Let's write an email. Let's get that off to a list. But okay, now I have staff and I want them to be able to log in and view our contacts, but not necessarily view a thing. And I want to assign tasks and have custom fields. And it's like, oh, well, guess what? You can't. right? And so the best of both worlds is really a product like ours. It allows you to get started without overwhelming you with like the barrage of features that the enterprise level CRMs do, but allows you to bring those in as you need them. Does your CRM offer meaningful support and resources? Because when you get to that enterprise level and you start needing some of those features and you start wanting to bring those in to your business so you can grow and scale and maintain your status quo, you need training. You need to know how it works, right? You can't just assume. Are there courses? Is there a YouTube channel? Is there onboarding calls, weekly calls, office hours, technical support, extensive documentation? Is stuff searchable? Is it easy to find? Can you read it? Go to the documentation of whatever CRM you're choosing and see if you can understand the documentation for some simple stuff. And if you can't, well, that's a little bit of a red flag, is it? Go to their YouTube channel. Do they publish YouTube videos frequently? Right? So that's something to consider. Is making sure that whatever support resources that they're offering, and you might be technically minded, but if you're not, right, make sure that it is at a level of comprehension that you are comfortable with, so that when you move forward, you don't get frustrated, right? One of the nice things about, Groundhogg is that as soon as you sign up, the first thing that we do is we actually offer you a 45-minute onboarding call, free of charge. It's included, obviously. And you can speak with a product expert with us about questions that you have, and we'll help you. We want you to be successful with our product as soon as possible. And we'll just make sure that the questions that you have, we'll guide you around. We'll point things out for you. We want to make sure that you're ready to go. And so we'll have a one-on-one call with you, 45 minutes, right off the bat. Okay. This is a big block of text, so ignore this and look at me. And I'm just gonna give you a little bit of an analogy. It's like buying and choosing a CRM is a lot like buying a car for the first time, right? Our inclination as humans is to go for the hyper expensive, flashy sports car, right? And because those are fun. They look like fun, right? Other cars, which may be more financially viable for us, or maybe more practical when they're a little bit cheaper and cheerful, but they don't have modern features, or they don't have reverse parking cameras, and they're expensive to maintain, right? And that's a lot of CRM products. Like, they're super flashy, expensive CRMs, HubSpot, Salesforce, right? There's bargain cheap ones, and some of the free WordPress options. Groundhogg is a free version, but I'm not including that. But there's other free WordPress CRMs that maybe I would avoid. And if I were to buy one car, and I only had one car, and I wanted that to get me for maybe the next 20 years of my life, right? Here's what I'd be thinking. I'd be looking at something sort of right in the middle, where it's reliable, it's inexpensive to maintain, it's got absolutely phenomenal consumer reviews, and I can upgrade it if I need to. It's easy to work on, right? And the dealer that I bought it from also has a wonderful reputation. And without tooting our own horn too much, that's Groundhogg, right? $50 a month billed annually is $600 a year, right? That's not the cheapest. I think we're one of the most expensive WordPress plugins on the market. But when you compare that to software as a service, $50 a month is like pennies, right? And so your savings there per year are absolutely astronomical, especially if you have a list of 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, 100,000 people, right? But there's other WordPress CRMs that are free or much more inexpensive, right? And for those, go look at the reviews. Go look at their documentation. Go look. We'd love to have you, is what I'm saying. So which CRM should you choose? I encourage you to do your extensive research. If you're talking to salespeople, ask them the questions. Ask them questions 1 through 6. Go all the way back here. Is the CRM actually a CRM? Does it include marketing automation? Does the CRM have native integrations with WordPress? Is it easy to transfer data in and out? Will the CRM support your long-term goals in business? Does the CRM offer meaningful support and resources? Ask them and see what they say. It'll be telling. If you want a CRM that checks all of these boxes, all of them, look no further. I encourage you to either schedule a call with me or book or start a 14-day trial of Groundhogg. We'll spin up a sandbox for you because we're confident on our product. We think that it's going to work for you. We're confident in the way it looks and the way it works and the demo that we've set up. There's a link to do that. If you're looking at this document right now, there's a link to do that right at the bottom of every page. It says start a 14-day demo with an arrow to groundhogg.io. That'll bring you. You pay $1. We spin up the sandbox. It works great. Groundhogg natively integrates with WordPress in your plugins. Our feature set can support small, lean startups and enterprise-level organizations. With Groundhogg, there are no limits on users or contacts. You own all of the data because it is self-hosted. We can actually match your growth and scale with you as your business moves forward. And if you decide to take a step back, guess what? Groundhogg can scale back with you. We have tons of documentation, tons of support resources. I'm always around. I'm a boots on the ground kind of business guy. I love just talking to people every day. I love being in a Facebook group. I love being on YouTube. I love being just present because I think that's important for business owners to do so that we get the best feedback from our customers so we can build the best product. So at this point, you might be thinking a couple of things about self-hosting a CRM on WordPress like Groundhogg. Is it a good idea? And I think it is. It allows you to seriously lower your expenses. You own your data, you minimize points of failure, and you close compliance gaps. Especially if you're in Europe and you have GDPR compliance regulations, owning your data and self-hosting your CRM is like a one-stop shop to compliance. It's literally that. You install Groundhogg, you move all of your data out of these SaaS CRMs. It's on a website that you control on a server that's located in your region, in your country, in your city even, and boom, compliant. It's that easy. And you might be thinking, okay, well, there might be other expenses for self-hosting a CRM. And you're right, there are. So let's talk about what they are. So number one, you have Groundhogg's annual flat rate fee. So no more money for more contacts. You also need to pay for hosting, but guess what? You're already paying for hosting if you have a WordPress website. So boom, you might need to upgrade your hosting eventually, right? But if you're getting thousands of visitors a day, guess what? You're already paying for good hosting, and good hosting is good enough for Groundhogg. And you also need to pay for an SMTP service, but the combined cost of an SMTP service in Groundhogg is still much, much, much less than the average cost of most SaaS CRMs. Do you need to use WordPress for Groundhogg? Yeah, you got to use WordPress. Is it really unlimited contacts? Yes, it really is unlimited contacts. You can have as many contacts as you want. There are no limits in Groundhogg. None. We do not impose limits on users, on contacts, on email sends, on anything. You pay us for updates and support and an awesome product, and we deliver you that product with no restrictions. And so finally, the last question you might be asking is Groundhogg really better than really, really expensive SaaS CRMs? And the answer is we think so, and some people don't think so. Groundhogg is different than SaaS CRMs because it is self-hosted and flat rate and on WordPress. But sometimes different is better than better. And if you'd like to find out more about Groundhogg and how we work and what we do and what the actual software looks like, I highly encourage that you start a 14-day demo, which you can do with a link at the bottom of any one of these pages. And of course, there'll be a link in the description of this video as well. And there's links on our website. It's very, very, very easy to find because we want as many people to do it, and we want to make it as easy as possible because we're that confident, right? We were talking about red flags earlier. If they make it hard to actually get a demo of the software, then that means they're not confident, and I'm confident. So please, I'm looking forward to it. If you decide to book a demo, you also get to speak directly with a product expert, and more often than not, that person is me, because I still love doing those calls. And so if you want to chat with me, that's another way you can do that. And so we can talk about your business, and we can talk about implementing Groundhogg, and we can talk about ideas. And even if you just want to chat about nothing marketing or CRM or automation or Groundhogg related, we can just hang out. That's the offer. Okay? Well, I really appreciate you spending the last 43 minutes and 52 seconds with me. That was actually a lot longer than I was spending on covering this document, but I just have a lot to say, and obviously you can tell I'm really passionate about this stuff. So thank you. I appreciate you giving me these 44 minutes of your time. I hope you have a wonderful day, and best of luck choosing the right CRM for your business.